Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I welcome you back to Coaster Island with 14 roller coasters to explore. Welcome back to another episode of Park Spotlight. We're doing a rerun, a refeature of something that I showcased many years ago. August 25th, 2017 was the premiere. Park Spotlight episode 71, Coaster Island, a fan favorite created by the one and only Mad. And here they say on their workshop page, Coaster Island is a Caribbean, kinda, a touch of pirate themed island with 14 roller coasters on it. Why did I do this project? Since I started playing Planet Coaster, I realized more and more that I love to build roller coasters in a very small area, but with very high detailed scenery. So I decided to create some small island with as many coasters as possible. Enjoy. P.S. There's a stupid roof piece in the middle of the coaster station. Please remove it. I know what he's talking about. We'll talk about that more in a sec. Now, before we get into it, I do want to mention, as many years has gone by, 6 years or so of Planet Coaster, we have actually never really seen anything to the likes of what Madman has created with both Coaster Island and Coaster Mountain. Specifically Coaster Island. There's no flat rides in this island. It's just coasters, and they're all intertwined, and they're all in a tight area. I want to see more of this. In fact, I would love this to be like a contest or something in the future. I don't really know, but trying to get as many coasters onto one little area as possible is one of the coolest concepts, and I have honestly not seen this done since like 6 years ago in this very episode. That's why this deserves a refeature. Let's get into it. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Coaster Island 4K Reshade, 60 FPS, 5,000 guests in the park. You can't ask for better quality than this, and a better submission than this to refeature. Kicking things off right away, as you can see here, amazing looking coasters with really cool signs. This is classic vanilla Planet Coaster, old school Planet Coaster, brought back to life, and I love to see it. I miss Mad. Mad was one of my favorite creators of all time, and I haven't seen a Mad creation in many years. So this is very nostalgic for me and really cool to see. Now, we'll talk about refeatures in a moment, but we got a queue to go down, as I actually already recorded this for a Coaster POV series, and something just didn't feel right about it. So I started doing community polls, community questions, and asking and getting feedback on how we should proceed forward. So here we go. We got the poison. It is a basilisk. Green across the board. There's a look at all the coaster stats if you want to see them on the right-hand side. And we're going to jump into this. Because it's a single rail, we're going to go track view. Let's get it. Short but sweet. In fact, all of the coasters in this park are short and sweet, and that is definitely one thing that I would love to see improved. Or, you know, if somebody wants to take the reins of what Mad was doing so well back in the day and bring it to life, sort of speak, literally make a park as compact as you can with as many coasters as you can, and not a single flat ride, just coasters. I want to see Coaster Mountain, Coaster Island, Coaster Archipelago, whatever you can come up with, give it to me, make it, let's go. But the one improvement that I would say that would need to be done is the length of the coasters. need to be longer. Over the years, this was acceptable back 6 years ago, but over the years we have come to expect, come to love and appreciate these long, lengthy, crazy coasters. So here we go, got the Mad Rat on the left here. We're gonna go up and check this one out. But yes, we have come to expect and love these crazy, crazy coasters. So I would love to see this done, but bigger. A bigger island, with bigger, longer coasters. Reaching out, sprawling to ends of the park. There is one massive coaster, but it's kind of at the very back of the park. It's literally called the Monster. And, you know, it's the grand finale. It's what we're going to get to last as the 14th coaster in the park. So here we go. The next one up is the Mad Rat, also green across the board. There's a look at all the stats if you want to see them. It's a gas lower coaster. Let's freaking go. Going seat view for this guy. There it is. I want to talk about refeatures and reruns. As I just went over, if you go to the community sections, I talked about this with the Cedar Point refeature and recreation. I had some talking points about that, and since then I have created a post, a poll, and basically asking people what they would like to see as refeatures, that sort of thing. I guess we're going to go through this tunnel. So if you guys want to engage with that content, it's there on the community tabs, but I also ran it over Discord as well. Basically, what I've discovered from questioning the community, talking to the community, getting everybody's feedbacks and opinions on things. As I mentioned, this was going to be originally a 4K coaster POV series, where I just show all the coasters and not walk around and look at things. And to me, something felt wrong. Something was not right. Something was amiss. Walking up and down these queues, walking around the park is really the golden awesome sauce. And while I did do a poll and 25% of you actually skip to the end, or skip to the coasters, this is a giga coaster, but not so giga coaster, as it only reaches, the average height or biggest drop is 32 meters. Not so much of a giga coaster. All right, I'll resume my thoughts after we give this a ride. Let's go. Oh, the flailer was awful on that one. I might have to stick to track view going forward here. That was the Red Devil. I got to try to keep track of these because I'm going to lose track of them. There's 14 in this tiny little park. But yes, resuming my thoughts, 25% of you actually skipped to the coasters, but some of you said you liked the option to be able to watch the whole thing. And if you don't have very much time, you actually just skip to the coasters. So it's really just based off of how much time do you have in your day and that sort of thing. All that being said, I have come to the conclusion that when I wanted to feature this and just ride all the coasters, and it felt wrong to me that it would probably feel wrong to upload it that way, and I made the executive decision to just, you know, refeature it. Now, the downside to that is it's taking the place of what would have been a new Park Spotlight. So unless I start doing 4 Park Spotlights a week, 2 reruns and 2 not, and burn myself out, reruns will take the place of old ones. So then it's like, is it even worth it to actually, this is called die slowly, is it worth it to actually refeature things if they're going to impede on future Spotlights? And that's where I have to make a debate. So I think I'm going to do a few. I'm just not going to do them all the time, and I have to pick and choose. And I wanted to know which ones people wanted to see again, and basically everyone wants to see all of them. So yes, I don't think refeaturing every single of the 600 Park Spotlights is feasible, and if you had been featured in the past, I could imagine why you would want your creation to be re-showcased in 4K with Reshade and all that, obviously. But you could also just make another creation and send that in. So for me, it's going to be like the cult favorites, the fan favorites, the most popular ones, and we sprinkle them in now and then. That is the solution that I have come up with. But for coasters, if it's just a single coaster spotlight that somebody sent in, I think there is a time and a place to just do a no commentary POV coaster spotlight. Not coaster spotlight, but 4K POV, where we just go up the lift right off the start of the video, no commentary, boom, go. Because it's just a short, quick video. It's bonus content. It's not detracting from anything. It's extra videos every week, and we would only do like 2 of them a week. And I think that's a nice balance. So here we go. We have an RMC, green across the board. There's a look at all the stats if you'd like to see them, and let's get to it. We're gonna go at the back of the train, look forward, at the back. Let's go. The visuals on these coasters is absolutely impeccable. I love seeing all the clutter, the detail. There's just so much eye candy going through here. I love it. This is why I refeatured this one. Look at how much just craziness is going on. Now, while I did say I already recorded it, the benefit to doing it the other way I was going to do it was that I just went to the ride list and went through them one by one, or I had like a list of which ones I was going to do in which order, and I kind of showed like a bird's eye view of the ride before I went on it, and I didn't get lost. I literally was getting them one by one. When you're on the park level like this, you can quite easily get lost. Where are you going? What have you been on? I don't really know, but we hit up the ride list at the end at the very least and make sure we hit the ones we've haven't ridden. The problem is, a lot of these are very similar in both look and layout. It's a little bit twisty and crazy. They're all twisty and crazy. So here we have the Hammerhead Dive Coaster. There's a look at the stats if you'd like to see them. Even though there might be flailers, it is only right to go into seat view for a traditional dive coaster. Let's go. And there it is. Let's go get lost some more. So one of the things Crimsalt brought up that I thought was really interesting was that the way that I feature park spotlights today is very different than I did 6 years ago, obviously. And some of the commentary that I give is also very different than how I used to. One of the issues that I had with reruns was like, I've already said everything I want to say about this park or this coaster or whatever. I don't want to just say it again, right? And that's why I thought that the POV series would have been just fine. So, I don't know, we're going to give it a go on a few reruns and see, maybe I come up with new things to talk about. Maybe I point out different things that I didn't point out in the past. And maybe I see things in a different light that I didn't see before because we're now featuring things in such a high quality, you know, but I definitely wouldn't want to repeat myself again. And that was my biggest worry, is just saying the same things I've already said. But then the other option is just to tell you guys how my week is going and talk about random stuff while I walk through the park. I'm pretty sure I could fill the time up with something and then you guys could still tune in for the visuals if that's what you really wanted. I mean, the park speaks for itself. Most parks do. Do I really need to say much anyways? Maybe my problem is I have this feeling that I need to talk all the time, and maybe silence can go a long way too. I don't know. Maybe you can let me know what you think down in the comments below, but let's go check this coaster out. So for this park in particular, I think I should have made a checklist. And I technically do have a checklist in the submission form, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pause for a second and see what we've been on and check them off. Okay, so I literally had to go back and look at the recording to figure out what I've been on and what I haven't. And now I've got a checklist. So we gotta go to the Falcon, which is right here. I believe this is the queue for it, and then I can check that off. But surprisingly, we've already been through half the coasters, and that is due to the fact that these coasters are so short in their length. So here we go, Falcon. That's the floating piece that he mentioned in the Steam Workshop that needs to be deleted. I wonder if that was in the original Spotlight. So when I originally featured this 71 in episode 71, I wonder how my comment was on that one. That's kind of hilarious. Here's a look at the stats on the Falcon. We're definitely going track view for this, as it is it's a Skyloop coaster? Huh, is it really? Yeah, it's a Skyloop. All right, let's go. Boom. And there it is, the Falcon. Now, according to my list here, the mine train called Tunnel should be near, across the street over here. Good googly moogly. Does this ever look good in 4K? This is one of the reruns I did not actually go back and look at the original for. There's the tunnel over here. Look at all the people trapped here. This is one of the situations where it's the exact opposite of when I say it sucks having no guests in the park. This has too many guests. I never thought that would be possible. But when you make a compact park the way you do here, you can really cram in a lot of guests, as you can see here. And that's what I love. because we're still getting a butter smooth frame rate, and this thing is just jam-packed. Oh, look how adorable this is. It's a train with one cart. Which means we're probably gonna have to ride this one. There's the stats if you want to see them. We're probably gonna have to ride this one at the chase view, because I don't even think look forward will work. So yeah, we're gonna do chase view and see how this goes. Yeah, I really love this concept of just jamming as many coasters into one area as possible. And how would you do this in like a 2.0 version? Like a Planet Coaster? Look at Tiki. Poor Tiki. He's just swallowed by the amount of guests that he needs to entertain. How would you do this in a Planet Coaster 2.0 fashion? I need to find the spinning mouse. It's around here somewhere. We just saw it right there. This leads to an X dimension, so it's either around the backside here or further back, further forward. So how you could do this, there's two ways I would approach doing a park spotlight like this, or creating a park spotlight like this. What is the most ride called? It's called Beasty. The first method would be to go bigger and badder. More coasters, longer coasters, and just coasters. I want to see that. If you're inspired by this, nobody's done anything like this since 2017, in my opinion. We've seen like compact parks with a lot of rides, but rarely do we see over a dozen, and generally people like to include flat rides. I'm literally giving you permission to not do anything but coasters, and I would love to see that. The other way of doing it, in a 2.0 fashion, would be like a person like Beartastic, or someone along those lines that really likes to use mods. So, what does that sign say? Freedom. This is the X dimension. Well, I'll find my way to the mouse coaster eventually, but Beartastic was making some really amazing coasters. So there's Beasty with mods. The log flume coaster, and recently did the launching RMC. What about like 12 coasters in one compact area that all use mods, that all do something crazy, something ridiculous? That I would love to see. So whoever does a Coaster Island 2.0 or 3.0 using mods gets a guaranteed feature from me, because I love this concept, and it is the very reason we are refeaturing it here today. Let's go on the Beastie here. Okay, not much of a spinning wild most, but definitely a wild most. That's okay, going without the spin on that one. Now, the Freedom is an X-Dimension 4D coaster, which is pretty exciting. It is a little bit unfortunate that I actually rode all these coasters. Like I said, I threw out the recording. So I kind of know what to expect. So in theory, this is my third time riding all these coasters because I rid them all 6 years ago. I don't know where this is going. Maybe this takes us to Freedom. Probably. And yeah, I mean, just the craziness of it. I was actually quite blown away on how butter smooth this is. It's like locked at 60 FPS. I mean, in fact, I'm getting more than 60 FPS on this, which is weird because I think I have the game locked at 60, but it is jumping above 64 right now, 67. Okay, there's a look at the Freedom X Dimension stats on this. We're definitely going wing seat for this. Let's freaking go. The control on that was pretty phenomenal. I like how we flipped over, rotated, spun towards the park, and then stalled out the coaster for an immaculate view at the backside of the park there. Pretty awesomely done there. We did the spinning mouse, we did Freedom. I gotta go through my checklist here. We got 3 more to go. We got Alien, Snake, and Monster. And I actually know, wait, this one here is, okay, that's the Falcon. I was gonna say the Alien is like the green one back there, and then the Snake is the black one. And I kind of know how to get to them because I've been here before. So I think we go down here. And then the Alien ride is advertised here, but I don't think this is actually the entrance to it. I could be wrong. But I actually believe this is the entrance to the Snake. We got a floater. How dare you, Mad? Did I mention that 6 years ago? It's been 6 years and you still haven't cleaned up that floater. How dare you? So here we are. Oh, this is in fact the Alien. Okay, there's a look at all the stats. We're definitely going track view for this guy. That's not the one. We're going this guy, tracky, and off we go. Beautiful. Now, how do I get to the Snake from here? Probably around, we'll just snake our way up here. And look at that monster. I love a good Woody. 6 years ago, I probably would have said that was one of the best wooden coasters I've seen ever on the show. Very curious. This does not look like an entrance, but it has to be up here. Exit! Jebaited! Wait a second. I'm so confused. I went up an exit. How do we get to the snake? I'm going up the exit for the snake. I know I am. I'm calling it right now. Oh, you have to walk up here to get to the queue. That's very debating. So in fact, this is the entrance. And here we go. We have the inverted coaster. Your ride exceeds the G-force limits. There's look at all the stats. Nobody's going on this because of the G-forces, which means we can sit happily in seat view without any flailers. I'm good with it. Off we go. Spooky music. I feel like I should have gone on that one at nighttime because of the music, and then I realized I haven't gone on any of them at night. But I feel like this isn't really like a night special park. I could be wrong about that, but we'll take a look at the whole park at night from a bird's eye view. I just don't necessarily want to ride any of the coasters at night because this park looks so good during the day. Definitely. All right, look at that. That has got to be one of the greatest wooden coasters for its time. I thought I arrived at the wrong coaster. 78 miles per hour. Biggest drop is only 61 meters, really. 9 airtime counts and 5.4 seconds of airtime. Also exceeding the G-force limits with 8.22 vertical Gs. Holy good googly moogly. We're definitely going to go back of the train for this guy, and off we go. Moogly. Ladies and gentlemen, Coaster Island, end-to-end coasters across an entire island. Let's check it out at nighttime. So it is very spotty. I feel like this was like the vanilla way of doing lighting. I noticed this with Coaster Mountain, created by Mad as well, that there was 2 types of lights. There were spot circular lights placed everywhere throughout the park, creating all these little hot spots. Since then, I think the usage of floodlights has been something that people have meticulously hand-placed over the years to get just right. I could definitely see an evolution in lighting, but this isn't that bad. I mean, there's lighting everywhere. I just feel like it's a little bit on the spotty side. But I'm not here to make critiques and that sort of thing, and feedback, as we've probably already done that many, many, many years ago, and I don't think we're going to change anything after this park being out for 6 years. But I thought it would be interesting to look at it and make a comment, but what is reassuring to me is that I'm quite okay not riding these coasters at night. None of these feel like particularly handcrafted for that nighttime experience, and I much preferred how this park looked during the day. It has that vibrance. It looks amazing with Reshade, 4K, all of that. I mean, it's looking absolutely immaculate. I feel like if you don't have a 4K monitor or TV by now, you have to invest in it. It's like I can see finally. It's hard to explain, but there's nothing that's that much different from the last time I opened it up, because I bet you this ran quite okay on my computer 6 years ago. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the original video. But because it's running at like a butter smooth 60 for me here, I could only imagine that I must have at least got 30 frames on this park back then, but maybe I don't know. This computer is deceptively good. It definitely feels butter smooth and looks insanely crisp compared to what I remember seeing back in the day. So now I'm actually really curious. I'm gonna have a link down in the description below to the original video, and I'm gonna go give it a look myself and actually see for myself how it presented itself, because it feels like I've never seen this before. That being said, I do think there is some merit in doing these refeatures. I do. And especially for the old ones, if I go into them treating them like I haven't seen them, this one in particular, I was recording it for a different coaster POV series, and that meant that I was now looking at it again a day later and decided to do it with commentary and a full walk around. Therefore, I had already kind of ridden these just yesterday, which kind of ruined the commentary for me a little bit, because I didn't want to really point things out as much because I just looked at them. Now, if I hadn't done that, I feel like I haven't seen this park before, because it's been like 6 years. Obviously, I remember little bits of here and there, but it feels like I'm walking in with a fresh set of eyes. If I go back to the very, very, very old ones, I probably won't remember a whole lot, and therefore I could just treat it like it's a new episode entirely and find new things to talk about, as I probably don't remember what I talked about back then. So the reason I'm discussing all this with you guys, transparency, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, because obviously there is something special about seeing these in the resolution that we're seeing them today, as opposed to where they were before. But I also don't think it's feasible or reasonable to just restart the coaster or the park spotlight series and go through them all one by one by one. And that's where I have the community tab. You guys can find it under the community posts. You could suggest to me your favorite parks of all time that you think deserve a refeature, and we could consider those and weave them in between featuring new parks. And maybe what I'll try to do is just do one refeature, one park spotlight, and maybe if I have time, a bonus. That way we're getting 3 parks a week instead of 2, and one of them being a rerun, and it's not like we're losing out on any content. For a while there, I was only doing 3 Planet Coaster videos a week. Since getting my new place and getting my new computer, I've been kind of just upping the ante a little bit, back to like a little bit, but basically back to daily videos. 7 a week from 3. That's a massive increase. That's a massive, massive increase. And therefore, when people complain that there's no commentary in a couple coaster POVs, it's a little disheartening, because it's just bonus content. And if I'm going to do something like that, it's not going to take the place of anything. And I could say the same for reruns. I don't want reruns to take the place of anything. So I think this was it's been a fun experiment revisiting some of these, and I'm still trying to deliberate what I want to do from here. But I've come to the conclusion that I think weaving in one once in a while, once a week, is not really a bad idea. And I think that's how I'm going to go. I'm liking the Coaster POV series as bonus content, but my list is only like 40 coasters long of coasters that I want to see again, but in 4K. I went through a list. There's probably more than that. I didn't quite dig through all 1,000 coaster spotlights. I went to my top 100 list from Coaster Spotlight 1000, and then I picked out a bunch that I wanted to see from there. Maybe I could build the list up to 60. So once we get through all those, I'm pretty much good on that series. So I could see this series going to at the most 100 episodes of just coaster POVs, and over the course of like 2 a week. So it would probably be like, only half a year's worth of mildly sprinkled in random coaster POVs without commentary. And I don't think that's too much. So I'm trying to figure out the balance. So I appreciate everybody's feedback, thoughts, and all that. and obviously what you think of these refeatures as well. And I just want to try to bring you guys as much of the best content as I can possible. And if there's something you're not liking about it or whatever, we can make adjustments as we go. But very fun to revisit Coaster Island here 6 years later. Wow, freaking we. I miss you, Matt. I hope you come back to us at some point. As mentioned to you guys, please make me another Coaster Island, a Coaster Archipelago, Coaster Islands. I love this concept so much. Just coaster after coaster after coaster from the very front to the very back, all intertwined, with just crazy amounts of pathing and detailing. All of the coaster theming is for the coasters, but it ends up being the park theming because there's nothing but coasters in the park. And I think this is the brilliant concept, and I was probably raving about this 6 years ago and probably saying that I wanted more of it. And oddly enough, I haven't seen anything like this in the last 6 years, guys. This was mad specialty, and I'm sad that nobody has adopted or been inspired by this. So there's no better time to get inspired by this than now, because clearly there is a lack of these types of parks. And if I see a screenshot of a small park like this that says 14 roller coasters or 20 roller coasters, it's getting an immediate feature for me. A new and improved Coaster Island I would love to see. As mentioned, having longer, bigger coasters, giga coasters, actual strata coasters that go up to 400 feet, 300 feet giga coasters, that sort of thing. Dive coasters that go over 60 meters in drop. Those are the types of things I want to see from like a park like this 2.0 version. Then I love the idea of mods. So I've been convinced by Discord to install mods. If you're using mods, I shouldn't have any problem opening them if you're changing friction, multipliers, and all that stuff. So we'll look into doing that in the future. But I think a person like Beartastic, I'm calling out to you, Bear. He's been putting out some amazing stuff. I think you're primed to do a park like this of just crazy modded coasters. Take your launched log flume coaster, put it in there, all of those ideas, things that you can come up with those mods, and make a coaster modded island sort of thing. That gets me inspired. So I still think here we are 7 years later, and there's so much untapped potential with Planet Coaster, as you can see from this park. I can't say off the top of my head that anything has come this close or replicated this kind of insanity since this. If you can think of something similar to this, other than Coaster Mountain by Mad, put it down in the comments below, because I have to go look at it. Definitely. We have seen some pretty crazy parks with a lot of coasters, but never to this density. And I love this concept. Just one after another. So that's my final thoughts on revisiting Coaster Island 6 years later. What did you guys think of this? And throw your comments down below. And that is going to do it for us in today's episode of Park Spotlight. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely freaking fantastic day. Bye now.